Hello, my baby. Hello, but I need music or something. What is up, my glamorous guys and gals and non-binary pals? It is the second day of my spoopy series of the 31 days of Halloween, to be exact. So it is time to reveal what the clue was in my last video. But before I reveal that, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to comment down below. And make sure to follow me and subscribe. I am on TikTok posting a bunch of these, and also will be posting on my Instagram, so make sure to follow me on there. And let's do this reveal. And we're back. Not a lot has changed. I moved my camera up a little bit because I feel like it was not good. Anyway, I got this on. I have a shirt on underneath as well, and then I have fishnet arms. Any guesses? If you haven't figured it out now by my outfit, the hint or clue, category, whatever you want to call it, was clown. If you're wondering what the clue was in my video, this is what it was. Specifically, it is a clown mask, but I accepted clown, jester, or clown mask. I would have accepted any of those. I did get somebody that guessed it right, so they received $10 for guessing it right and guessing it before I posted this video. Now, I did not think that clue was really hard, but for some people it was. They didn't really get it even whenever I posted another clue slash hint to it. The harder the clue is, and if you get it, the more of a prize you'll get, or like the better the prize will be. It's not always going to be money. Sometimes it's going to be something different, unless I get lazy. So, for this video, I of course am going to be talking about clowns. And before I get started, what is a clown?
What is up, my glamorous babes? So I'm doing this a little bit differently because I had some sound issues with my phone, because I do record with my phone. So I just decided that I'm going to do a talk over for my videos. So, in case you didn't know, a circus clown is defined as a performer which works in the circus and uses physical humor to entertain the audience. The word clown comes from the Icelandic word kluni, which means a clumsy person, which I think makes really sense because, in my opinion, clowns are, in fact, pretty clumsy. So I think it works out. There are actually 3 types of clowns. There's like the typical white face clown that most people know what it is. It's literally a face covered with white makeup, a painted mouth and a grin, and very heavy black eyebrows. They tend to be very sophisticated and extravagant character, and they are known as the highest in clown status. That I thought was cool. The second clown would be an August. I don't know how you would pronounce this. Face painted in pink instead of white, red, or tan. And then the mouth and eyes are painted white. So it's almost like the opposite of the white face, where like the mouth and the face are like switched in colors, if that makes sense. The eyebrows are still very black and well fitted instead of being like big bushy eyebrows. They are complete opposites of the white face. They are known as like anarchist, a joker, or like a fool. The last one is kind of like parody of the types, or just like parodies of different types of like things that you know in real life, like a butcher, a baker, a policeman, housewife, hobo, things like that. Like for instance, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the play Allegria, or just Circus Lay in general. Any Circus Lay, they typically have a hobo character. I know they did in Allegria, which is literally they just travel around, they have no luck, but a positive attitude about everything. And it's really entertaining to the audience. I picture it like clearly as if I literally saw the play a few hours ago. So yeah, that's interesting. Like I knew about that, but I never knew that technically there were 3 different types. So clowns apparently have their own kind of like language or like status, I guess you could say. Kind of going off of like how the August clown or the white-faced clown has the highest clown status. They have other types. So like a trooper is a circus vet where they've had 1 full year where they performed with the circus. However, a 1st of May is known as a first performer, first time ever working in the circus and becoming a clown. And then like they have something called like the clown alley, which is just like where in backstage they get dressed and they hold all of their like props and everything, kind of like just a backstage, like as you would for a typical play. And then they have like a boss clown, which like leads all the other clowns, which kind of straightforward. And then they have a charivar, which is an acrobatic clown routine. I'm probably saying this wrong. Sorry. They also have what's known as a carpet clown, which starts the performance from the audience, which I know some of like hobo characters and like the like parodies of different types of characters, those ones tend to start from the audience, just from my experience whenever I've seen a play. If I'm going based off of what the description of a character clown is, in my opinion, it would be those, and they start from the audience typically. But that is so far not the most interesting part that I'm going to be discussing. So clowns apparently originated from ancient Greece and were like bold, wore padded clothing and to appear larger, and they were known as priests, and their roles were almost like ritualistic, I guess you could say. So before they became like a big thing in theater, they served as psycho-religious and psychological roles as priests. And so I just found that very interesting. Like I never would have expected a clown to have originated from like a priest. Like that honestly just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but I don't know. I don't get it. But that's what I found in this. I don't know. But because of that, I looked a little bit more into it. So I found that the first ever known clown was in ancient Greece. Like I said, they worked in like the theater and plays like that. But of course, that's like not what we think of when we think of clown. So before I get back into the theater type of clown, I'm going to discuss the first 2 known clowns like in the world that are some of the most famous. The very ever first clown to be formed was in 1801, which was a white-faced clown, and it was made and designed by Joseph Grimald, which his clown name was Joey. He specialized in physical tricks, tumbling, falls, slapsticks, and beatings. I couldn't find where it was that he first started out, but I know he was not in the US, because the very first US clown to ever show up in a circus was Matthew Sully. And he started in the Kickett's Circus as a Harley Quinn tumbler and singer. Now, what I got confused about was Harley Quinn. So when I think of Harley Quinn, I think of like Harley Quinn from the comics, like Harley Quinn, Joker, that stuff like that. I never knew of it coming from a different word or it meaning something else, I guess you could say. So I did a little bit of research on this because I don't know what a Harley Quinn act or type of clown is. So this kind of goes back to whenever I said that Greece started back in doing clowns and like in the theater. Because Harley Quinn came from the word zani, which came from the Commedia dell'arte, which, like I said, is Italian and is an early form of professional theater, which was between the 16th and 18th century, and it's just Italian comedy, also known as improvisation, like we know today. Now, a zani specifically was a type of clown, actually. So a zani was very different, but also still slightly known, like you would think of as a clown today. So most zani in these type of acts wore a mask that almost looks like a plague mask. It was very long nose. They wore white baggy clothing, which was traditionally made of flour sacks. It represented peasants and farm workers. So they were representing as like for the comedy purpose that peasants and farm workers were funny. And so they had them wear these degrading clothes and really long faced masks. And the longer the nose of the mask was, apparently the stupider the zani was said to be. Now, like I said, zani was what brought up the name Harley Quinn. But what was really cool, or I thought was really interesting, was Harley Quinn was originally introduced by a guy named Zan Ganassa from the 16th century. And it was also known a Harley Quinn to be a servant or peasant or farm worker, which is why it derived from a zani. However, they were more of tricksters instead of a comedic relief. They were known as their character for fighting against the protagonist or the antagonist, I guess, or both of them, and finding their own path. So they were like an antagonist, but they were technically a side character, neither one of the main characters. They were derived from actually the devil type character from French passion plays, and from a story specifically of a monk who was pursued by a troop of demons that had masks and clubs, which, as you know from the zani, they wore masks and they were workers, and the monk depicted the demon or devil to be a black-faced emissary of the devil, roaming the countryside with demons demanding souls of evil to hell. They would use agility and clubs, tricks and pranks like from a devil. So I found that really interesting, just because Harley Quinn, we know, is like mean. She has psychiatric background and stuff like that, but I never would have guessed that the word Harley Quinn derived from a monk's story of how he thought the devil looked and acted. And so he then portrayed this story in a play which then he called this character a Harley Quinn. But he also got the original idea of like the costume and the mask and everything from a zani, which originally came out to be from the Commedia dell'arte, which was an Italian comedy. So I just found that really interesting how this all originally started based off of religion, and that a monk was telling a story. And because that monk told a story, we now have clowns today. Clowns like Pennywise from the movie It, who is one of the most famous clowns in all of like screen time. And also just like clown dolls, or just like clowns in general. Like, I just found this really interesting. Like, I'm saying like a lot, but yeah, never would have thought that clowns originally came to be because of religion. So yeah, sorry if this was a little rambly. I know I said a lot of things all at once. It was a lot to take in, and honestly, when I was reading this information, it was all over the place, and I was a little bit confused. So I tried to make it a little bit easier to understand. I probably didn't, but if you're wanting to read more into it and read it on your own time, I will be posting the links down below of where I got the information. But yeah, now it's time for a montage.
That concludes the look of today for my clown category. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will be posting all my pictures on Instagram, and I will be posting TikToks that I've made on my TikTok, of course. I will probably also post them on my Instagram story and like my highlights. So make sure to follow me to see that and see the transformation. Comment down below what you thought your most interesting fact about clowns were. Mine would probably have to be the whole Harley Quinn backstory, and also the fact that clowns were originally like priests and stuff like that. I find that so interesting. I like never would have thought that there would be any affiliation with like religion or anything like that. So I thought that was really cool. And don't forget to DM me your guess for the next category. If you do get it right, you do get a prize, like I said. And the harder the clue is, the greater the prize. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys later. Why do I look like a librarian clown?